Good evening and welcome to TV-36. I'm Gil Oren of the Summit Football Alumni Association, and this is Summit Football 94. There are hundreds of football teams in New Jersey, high school football teams that have concluded their season. There are two teams that remain, the Summit Hilltoppers and the Mendham Minutemen. Welcome to Summit Football 94. We'll be talking about the final state championship game this Saturday, 1 o'clock at Mendham. Joining me is Coach Ray McCran of the Summit Hilltoppers. Ray, welcome to Summit Football 94 for our 12th week.
Good to be back again, Gil.
It is good to be here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We have a smile on our face this week.
When you think of all the teams that have, as you mentioned the other day at practice, have turned in their helmets and their shoulder pads and their jerseys and so on, there are two teams left, and it certainly is exciting here in Summit this week.
Well, I think it's a pretty unique situation. I'm anticipating a big crowd at our Mendham game, and I'm anticipating people who are just football fans showing up. Maybe people that know absolutely nothing about Summit or Mendham and their football programs, but they just show up to see a football game.
Well, there's a little drama involved with this game, especially after last year's second victory by Summit over Mendham with the rematch, as the paper said today, one of the papers said today, rematch. So there's a lot of drama when two teams repeat and come back the next year to face each other again, isn't there?
Well, there certainly is. Certainly I wasn't a part of last year's victory, but I've certainly watched that tape probably 100 times this week, and it was exciting football, and it was good football, and good football by both teams.
It'll be certainly hard to top the fantastic finish last year, but who knows? Two good teams going at it again could produce another exciting game. I'm sure it will.
Well, let's hope that the results are the same, but the outcome is determined a little bit earlier.
Especially for the older fans. Before we talk about Mendham, and we will, there is a little unfinished business from last week, a review of the Summit Jefferson game, the semifinal of Group 2, Section 2, North Jersey. We have some highlights of that, which we'll see in a second, but were you surprised at the lopsided victory by the Hilltoppers over the Jefferson Falcons?
Well, first of all, you know, my thing has always been that anybody who shows up in the playoffs is good. And so we anticipated a good opponent showing up on Saturday. And from what we saw, they are a good football program. They just happened to catch us on a day when all three areas in our program were functioning very, very, very well. Our offense, our defense, and our special teams. Well,
Summit is now 9-1, and it seems, in some respects, it seems like a long season, having begun mid-August. And in other respects, it seems like the season has gone very quickly, hasn't it? Doesn't it, Ray? Well,
in between each game, that time is it's a race against time, and there's never enough time, and that particular time goes very, very quickly.
Well, after Saturday, there'll be plenty of time to enjoy the success of this season. Let's now go to the video and see the Jefferson Summit highlight tape. And maybe you'll comment on it for us, Ray.
Sure, let's take a look. All right, this is probably a play that turned the momentum of the game around, and unfortunately it happened for us very early. It was a big hit by Jeff Lovell, and this is the next highlight we have here is also a defensive play, and that's Torrey Fogg intercepting a Jefferson pass. Now we're on defense once again. And there's a fumble in there. And our defensive tackle, Jared Parascan, comes up with the fumble recovery.
As you say, Jefferson's a good team, but a lot of the breaks went against them early in the game.
Well, I think we made some of those breaks. And they went our way. Now, our first play following the fumble recovery is a drop-back pass, and that's our quarterback, Steve Schroeder, and he's throwing a perfect pass to senior slot back Jamie Allen.
There was only one person who was going to catch that pass, and it was either Allen or incomplete. It was
That's for sure.
thrown.
And the next play is a pitch play with Torrey Fogg running to his right. And he heads down the sideline and picks up 32 yards and brings the ball down to the 20-yard line. Now, this is a blast play that starts up the middle. And